Hello, church family. I hope you all are doing well, and I would like to personally welcome you to today's Heart to Home devotional. I would also like to extend a welcome to anyone tuned in that does not attend our beautiful church here in Hemet, Calvary Chapel, and we are blessed and honored to have you join us today. So today's devotional is titled, Be the Example. I'd like to look in the Gospel of Matthew and turn to chapter 5 and take a look at verses 13 through 16. And we read in the New King James Version, "You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? It is then good for nothing but to be thrown out and trampled underfoot by men. You are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it gives light to all who are in the house. Let your light shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." So Matthew 5 begins in what is known as Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. The size of the crowd following Jesus by this point in his ministry has become quite massive. People have come from every direction to see his miracles of healing and to hear his compelling teaching. And in verses 13 through 16, we come to a section titled, Believers Are Salt and Light. And what Jesus is doing here is emphasizing to his disciples that their lives are enormously valuable, that they, in fact, are the salt of the earth and the light of the world. Jesus emphasizes the importance of the works that God gives them to do because it is how those in the darkness will see the light of God. So why are the disciples' lives related to salt? You see, salt was used as a preservative in the day before refrigeration. Salt would keep food from spoiling. So you see, as a preservative, the Old Testament uses salt as a metaphor for preservation, signifying the covenant between God and his people. So without salt, food, or in this example, the Old Testament teachings will lose its shelf life, so to speak, and then it will be good for nothing, thrown out and metaphorically trampled underfoot by men. And then they are said to be lights. I really like how in verse 14, Jesus is introducing the disciples to allow their light of Christ in them to shine so bright that a city sat on a hill couldn't even be hidden in the darkness. And one might ask, why shine so bright? Well, because just as we are told in verse 15, you would not put a lamp underneath the basket. You would put it on the lampstand for all to see. Sometimes people don't share the work of God in their lives. And maybe God has put someone in your path because they really need to be fed the gospel. I have met some people that absolutely love Jesus, but unless you really got to know that person, you would never know the love in their heart that they have for Christ. We should be representing the gospel in our lives before anything else. So many people on social media will share the food that they're eating, the new car that they got, the promotion at work, so on and so forth, but never give credit to the one, capital O, who made it all possible for them. That is putting the lamp under the basket. God does great works in people's lives, and it is for his glory and not of our own personal satisfaction. We are created by him, we belong to him, and our sins separated us from him. Yet we are all redeemed by the blood of Christ, and through that blood, we are adopted back into God's family. It is an absolute honor to be loved that much by our God, and we ought to let his love shine in our lives so bright that nobody can hide from it, not even those on a hilltop. So what can you do to make your light shine? Get involved in church ministry. Spend some time and get to know people in the church body. Introduce yourselves to one another. I am a big advocate to do what we are told in verse 16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. Your good works are what you do for one another in His name. It is what you do for Him through serving others in His ministries. If you feel like there is more that you could do for Jesus in His church, let this be the reason you stop procrastinating or waiting until you get it right. Let Him get you right by serving Him. I have had people tell me that they are waiting to serve because they are waiting until they can get that sin out of their life. If you could do that, you wouldn't need Jesus. But Jesus needs you. He needs you to be the salt and to be the light. Let His calling on your life be what separates you from your sinful nature, because you can't. We work for Him, and it's for His glory, not yours. And as we see in the end of verse 16, and glorify your Father in heaven. So be the vessel to the broken. Be something more than social ranking. Be His, for His social redemption. Thank you all for your time, and please don't forget to check the link in our description for today's song. God bless you all, and I love you.